Sophia Borden with MiningIR, and joining me is Catalin Kilofliski, CEO of Canagold Resources. Catalin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Great to see
It's
you.
always nice to see you. We've sat down a
Yeah,
couple of times at other conferences. First, I'd like you to give our audience a little overview of the company, please.
yeah, sure. I mean, Canagold Resources, it's a TSX listed company, and it's advancing right now through permitting and feasibility, the highest grade undeveloped project, gold project in Western Canada.
And what are you seeing in the industry right now? What trends?
Yeah, look, really, it's lots going on in the industry right now. And as a matter of fact, I was watching the atmosphere here in London, and I think it's expected not as great still. There's still not much hype about the gold environment, even though gold, I think, is doing the right move right now upwards. But it's normal. It's always a time delay between, people when really get back to the sector since the gold is moving in the right direction. So a lot has changed with the sector. The fundamental reasons why, in my view, the mining sector, especially in the gold space, has changed is related to costs, right? And we're witnessing everyday's lives, costs going up on everything,
Yep.
but it's affecting the industry as well,
Inflation.
right? And the what used to be, the norm 2 years ago in terms of costs, it's not anymore.
Right.
So it moved a lot higher.
What are you seeing in terms of ESG and sustainability practices?
Again, a very good question. I think, the mining is, especially in Canada, has a good track record in that area. But more importantly, in the last couple of years, especially where we have our project in British Columbia, the government stepped up, the involvements, and really, truly, the new projects are the wannabe projects that are coming online are really changing the strategy. Where you see more and more through partnership being made with First Nations and communities.
And what are you seeing as some of the biggest challenges in the industry as a whole right now?
The biggest challenge as a whole right now, especially in the lower end of the industry, the discovery stage, it's basically the lack of funding. That really cut it off. The funding for the junior exploration, for example, has been effectively non-existent for the last years, and it will take time. It will take time, even in a gold price environment of $2,000 or higher. We maybe need to see gold to $25,000, $2,500, $3,000 before lots of money are available for exploration.
Catalin, let's talk a little bit about your flagship project. What does
Yes.
that look like right now?
So our flagship project is called New Polaris Gold Project, and it's located in northwest British Columbia. It's about 1.1 million ounces measured indicated gold resources, average about 11 grams per ton. It's going right now through feasibility and permitting. So we are really effectively focused solely on execution right now. So we've completely shifted the focus of the company from exploration to pre-production, and we're very excited about the progress we're making so far. But it's a great situation to be in, because not only we have a real partnership with the First Nation group that we have in our territory, but also we are lucky enough to have the support of a major shareholder, which owns about 43% of our company, whereby they provide the funding commitment to get the project to a production decision.
And what do the partnerships look like with the First Nations?
So look, with the First Nations, what we have established so far, it's a framework agreement that sets the stage on how we can get to the final agreement, where the project's two partnerships take shape, right? So it's a framework agreement that effectively provides a venue and a way to engage with the First Nations, and we've been very proud of the engagements we've had so far. And it really allows us to hopefully come up with things that could maybe set up new examples in the mining space, where things could be done in a different way with First Nations. And really what I'm mostly keen on myself is to create legacies that last beyond the life of the project. How can you work in a place where you can leave something behind that makes a big difference for the community, for jobs, for people that maybe you can train, and things like that. So we're very much focused on creating legacies.
And what are you doing to create that legacy?
Well, right now it's all about planning on how we're gonna do it, right? So we've had some small baby step successes, but really, things such as, finding a training program where you have new young kids really from the communities. You can try to get them to become your next engineers, your next geologists, your next people, senior people that eventually can run projects. That's really one area that we can look at. The other one would be possibly how can we work maybe together with the provincial government to increase the housing in the area. So, things like that. Green power, it's another one where we're looking, can we create a part of the project needs to come through green power, which will be there for a longer period of time that eventually can support other things that maybe the nation and the community wants to do.
Is there anything else in terms of innovative or modern techniques or practices that you're currently focused on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, mining, unfortunately, the whole industry is a lot behind. Like we're still mining for most part the same way we used to mine 100 years ago and process, right? So there is new developments and new technologies that are being, brought into the mining side, both on the mining side and the processing side. So we'll be looking at implementing and bringing those things as we engineer the project.
And what are you doing in terms of keeping in communication and keeping the transparency with your investors?
Yeah, so definitely, like we have regular interviews and participating in conferences, and we make all those available to our investors. We also have a regular news flow. Unfortunately, currently, there's not much news because we are in the middle of engineering and things like that. So we are in a slow news period right now, but probably one of the busiest periods for the company as a whole in terms of making things happen.
Catalin, before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers?
I think, probably the only thing is for those that are interested to learn more about the company, feel free to go on our website. My contact information is listed there. I'll be more than happy to take your calls.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me again today.
Thank you.
Always nice to see you.